something. That isn't the greatest pen. Do another pin. There we go. So I feel like we should incision that a little bit more before you pin it down.
I agree.
It's a lot more known.
Right near your butt, little guy.
Are we ready for incision 2?
I'm trying to skin it back, so it's easier later.
So you've done all of those?
That's that really soft tissue. You gotta watch it.
Let's cut back further on both sides because we're just going to kind of peel that right back a little bit. Just so it's the intestines. Such funny little things. I'll have to let Catherine know we've been juked.
Yeah.
I don't think that our money's been juked on.
Okay, so we have succeeded in pinning it back.
It's a bit easier to just break the jaw.
Now's part B, the oral cavity.
Oh, she's talking about breaking the jaw. That's what we're gonna have to do.
Yeah, so it says make an incision on each corner of the mouth, extending back toward the neck. Pull the lower jaw and tongue down toward the chest to expose the structures in the mouth and throat.
Smile like a joker.
Yeah.
So give it a Joker smile.
You're gonna.
Little ones.
Can you see okay, Brianne?
If you feel in there, you can.
You're close enough,
feel
are
it.
you?
We break the jaw later, don't we?
Yeah.
Can you see the epiglottis?
I called it
Oh, that's a little teeny epiglottis.
Like once the incisions are done, I'll tap out with one of you guys.
What's he got on the roof of his mouth?
The skinny part is so annoying.
Ow.
He had something brown on his tongue.
Did he poop in his mouth?
Did you break it?
No, we haven't yet. So how do you do that? You just
Put your
Thumb and watch for his teeth.
and then you.
Hold it down. You're going to break his jaw, so
This one might be an easier thing to use this.
you want to stick your thumb right in there.
Oh, okay.
We can't, we don't cut it off, but it just peels back. She said we don't have
Trying not to squeeze everything.
No, so you're not pressing. You're breaking the jaw. There we go.
Oh, okay.
So see this little flap? So lean in, because you're not going to see it from that side. See this little tiny flap right there?
Yep.
That's the epiglottis.
That's the epiglottis.
What's the brown stuff?
That's food, sort of.
Fetal pigs don't eat.
Well, I said sort of. So it is nutrients from the mother.
Okay.
And you're going to find it all throughout the pig.
How did you find it
It's not
outside of the area of the umbilical cord, though?
It's because it's been in a bag with other pigs, right? It's not contained down in where it should be.
Oh,
So
okay.
it moves around. But they do have little teeth.
Oh.
And some of them, like these are really tiny fetal pigs. Usually the teeth are really big. So you can feel, if you want to feel them.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to feel them, Daniel? No, he's not interested in feeling them. All right, keep going. Doing a good job so far.
Okay, so identify the epiglottis and the entryways to the esophagus and the trachea. So that's the epiglottis. The entryway to the esophagus and trachea are right there in the throat. We can see there's a separation there. The larynx. Get those pins back in.
Pretty much flat now that it's cut open.
Yeah. All right, make an incision from the chin along the neck to the previous incisions. So, you're looking at this here. I think we already did that. I'm gonna cut along here,
I'm not sure if
and then again on the other side.
So number 3.
not sure if it's those things
Number 3
Oh.
is a lateral incision.
Is that a thyroid
A lymph node?
or a lymph node? Not thyroid.
I believe it's a lymph node. I know that humans have lymph nodes in the same area.
Yeah. I'm just cutting around it so we can see. That's cool.
Yeah. We'll do the same on the other
Look at
side.
his ears.
Lateral is
They're so squished.
Are we cutting his head off? We're not cutting his head off, right?
No. It's like a shower.
Do you want to do this side? It's hard for me to do it
Yeah.
left-handed.
I'm I'm also right-handed.
Weird, because this part's already.
Do we see the esophagus?
That's this part right.
Let's put incision 3
There's a lot of veins and arteries here to see, and fat as well.
Does he have one on that side? He, she, I don't know
Oh,
what it
I
is.
did cut through it. He does. It's right here.
Yep.
So he has 2 lymph nodes, one on each side. And you can see connective tissue in front of the esophagus, or the trachea. And you can feel the trachea is actually a little bit hard.
And
makes
that's
sense.
cartilage, right?
Yeah, that's cartilage. And behind the trachea, you'll find the esophagus.
Okay.
So use a scalpel and probe to separate muscle and other tissues in the neck. Identify the esophagus and trachea and follow these structures until they disappear into the thoracic cavity. Identify the larynx. It is an enlarged area in the trachea. So we need to find the esophagus.
How's it going?
We're looking for the esophagus.
Jesus.
I believe it should be behind the trachea.
Oh, so you've got a nice, you're doing really well there. So where's your little probe?
It's not on the page.
And we found, are these
No,
lymph
we're going with this
nodes?
Lymph nodes.
This one, not this.
Yeah, it could be.
There's one on each
I know
side.
humans have.
Yeah. So this,
Yeah,
see
I
this
found
like
mine.
lump right
Oh,
here?
okay.
Yep.
That's the voice box.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And pigs have a really big voice box. They squeal loud. So if we can scrape back some of this stuff,
that we have to make.
because I know you're looking for the esophagus right now,
Yeah.
but do you see the rings of cartilage coming out?
Yeah.
Yeah, we could kind of feel it. It
And
feels
I
hard.
want you to do, like at some point you're going to do that, right? You're going to actually look at this closer, but the esophagus is right underneath. So you're going to need to move more of this connective tissue in order to get down to it.
Just her fingers.
Don't get the finger.
Yeah, I'm not getting her. Trust me, it's dull.
I've actually been cut before doing this. So there we go. There's the esophagus. So we just got to...
Can I ask you why this is?
Oh, careful. You almost cut right through it that time. See it? This is the esophagus right here. This muscular tube.
Okay.
And I want you to touch them, feel them, to see that the trachea really does feel the rings of cartilage and it's stiff, and the esophagus is just like a squishy muscular tube. So get your fingers in and feel the difference between the two. And you can try and
Here's
separate
the esophagus. You can feel them. They're connected by connective tissue.
How's it going?
And the larynx, you can feel, is definitely like a ball on the inside of the esophagus.
So,
Esophagus now? Yeah. Did you find it? You're not sure? Let's have a look.
so she said I could try and separate it.
Do you want me to try?
Yeah. So
I totally see where she said that.
Yeah.
a little further.
So you have to separate it kind of by feel.
Let's get rid of some of this skin here.
So number 4 is a
Now,
lower
you can feel the trachea there. Look at all the
towards each hind leg. So left to right,
Yeah, they've been dyed red and blue actually. To help see the difference between the veins and the arteries.
yeah, like that.
That area.
It's pretty difficult.
I think it's the way to remove this.
So we use paint because they're closest to it. They're organized very much like this. And there are a lot of them, and people don't seem to be as distressed by these diagnoses. So I want you to run your finger up and down right here. You see those little bumps? So touch that first.
Okay,
So
kind of
touch
have it
No,
separate.
not touch it, but you can see the bumps, can you? So underneath that is the esophagus. This guy didn't get fed much.
Yeah.
He's a pretty scrawny little dude.
We've kind of separated the connective tissues of the esophagus and the trachea. It's really delicate.
You're gonna have to cut right down through
The
here.
esophagus?
Yeah, the esophagus is delicate, and the connective
Soft.
tissue, it's very soft,
Trachea is
and it's really
more
hard to
stiff,
discern from the connective tissue.
Yeah.
The trachea is hard, and you can feel the larynx as a hard ball in the middle of the trachea.
I just broke it. Oh snap. Here it is, right? But feel it. I want you to feel the difference. Because it's just muscle, right? It's just soft and squishy. Did you want to feel it, Jessica?
And then number
What is
5
this? The esophagus.
a lateral and
Oh wow.
So the cartilage, right, and the trachea is really stiff and hard, and then the esophagus is just right underneath and smooth.
it's very silky.
You're gonna have fun. If you have trouble seeing some stuff, we can always show you with a bigger pig, because it may be fine, but that wasn't so good. The esophagus was very small.
Okay.
What was the esophagus?
It's like when I broke it, you
Identify
just
the
try and-
larynx. Okay, so we've done up to step 7. Would you be able to turn the page, Daniel? Because my hands are dirty. Thanks. Okay, part C, number 8. Locate the liver, which lies immediately posterior to the diaphragm. Examine the liver and note the number of sections or lobes. This is the liver.
Yep.
So how many lobes are we looking at here? We've located it.
side here so that it feels open over.
So I see this is a separate lobe.
Yeah, 1,
This is a separate lobe too.
3.
So the liver has 3 lobes.
Oh.
I'm gonna write that down.
There's the
That's the gallbladder.
yeah.
So it looks like it's a very deflated balloon.
Yeah. We found. Oh.
Exciting.
Well, because she said it would be hard to find sometimes.
Yeah. And it says use the probe to move the lobes of the liver and locate the gallbladder. We just did that.
Ask for help though if you have trouble finding.
Note the location of the gallbladder using appropriate anatomical terms from the introduction to Part A.
So,
So the gallbladder is dorsal to the liver.
dorsal to the liver.
On the posterior part of the
It
liver.
looks like a deflated balloon. Literally a little baby balloon.
Yeah.
See it? We found the gallbladder.
Did you?
Yeah.
You said
It looks-
dorsal to the liver.
So we
Yeah.
would say it's dorsal to the liver, right? Because it's towards the back.
Is it towards the back?
Well, kind of, yeah. When it's laying like this.
So
it's-
towards the back is down here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's towards the back, so it's dorsal.
I would have thought it was down this way, not down that way.
Posterior.
But if it's down this way, then it would be over here, right?
You call it whatever you think it is. I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying ventral is towards the stomach, right?
Yeah.
Dorsal is down here. Posterior is this way.
Okay, it's
anterior is that
posterior.
way. But anyway, you were right. That is, and you can actually, if you want, use the probe and dig it out. You see what it looks like.
Okay. Let's dig out the gallbladder.
The liver's very soft,
The liver's actually tough. It's one of the toughest organs.
but feels soft.
The gallbladder, however, it looks like it's very soft.
Yeah, fragile.
There's connective tissue holding the gallbladder to the liver that I have to take apart. And it's easy to pull apart the connective tissue. I'm just doing it slowly in order to not rip the gallbladder because the gallbladder looks pretty soft. So it's probably very easy to rip. The gallbladder kind of looks like
A tadpole.
a tadpole. It looks like about the size of a pea in this fetal pig. And the duct that goes from the gallbladder into the intestines is pretty easily visible. The gallbladder is kind of the shape of a red blood cell. It's flat and round, oval shaped, and it's concave on the inside.
Okay.
Okay, so follow the thin bile duct leading from the gallbladder to where it empties into the small intestine. So I believe the gallbladder empties into the duodenum. Duodenum, does it not?
Underneath here.
So
Right here.
Here we go.
So it goes into the
Right here.
duodenum.
Duodenum, yes. This is the
The
stomach.
stomach.
The stomach is larger than I thought it would be. It looks like the stomach takes up almost the same amount of space as the liver.
Yeah, and this is.
It's really hard to see, like,
The stomach is deflated like a
This
balloon.
part.
You're not supposed to break bones and tear skin, right? So it's not going to be easy.
So we're separating this. So we're gonna look at Lift the liver and identify the J-shaped stomach. Note where the esophagus joins the stomach, where the stomach joins the duodenum of the small intestine. So,
I think it's so
the J-shaped stomach. So this would be the stomach, I believe.
Right.
But it has a separate lobe on it. Perhaps that is either the spleen or the pancreas.
I think that's the pancreas.
Yep.
Down. Spleen is underneath and soft and thin, right?
Yeah.
So it may be, but in a human,
The
it's
scalpel's gonna rip it off. There's connective tissue here, just taking apart to separate. So the stomach looks like it almost is curled on the bottom of the stomach, or it's wrinkled. At first I thought it was into lobes, but it's not.
Should we make more notes about part A though? I mean, I was just kind of observing. Like, was it like?
They're separating connective tissue. Okay.
My finger down his throat.
The spleen is a long organ located on the outside curved part of the stomach. Locate the spleen and describe its appearance.
so that is the
I think
spleen.
this is the
Yeah.
spleen. The spleen is long and thin.
Yeah, and it has the same color, similar,
On the right lateral side of the stomach.
pinkish.
Yeah, it's pinkish. It's connected to the stomach by connective
not on
tissue.
anybody. Just to help you guys, because I see
Oh.
it's recording.
Yeah, it's recording audio.
Because it's not on you guys.
No,
It's
just
okay.
audio.
Just audio. Yeah.
All because I see like
So we have two separate recordings that are useful.
send them
Backups. Yeah.
You said lateral.
It is lateral, it's the right lateral side of the stomach. I'm just separating the spleen now. The connective tissue is connecting it to the stomach. Along with a very, along the posterior part of the stomach, there's a very identifiable vein or duct that is attached to the spleen.
Oh, there it is. So this is the spleen.
I think it's because everything's so blue.
Remove the stomach by cutting across the esophagus at the anterior end, closer to the head, and across the small intestine at the posterior
Now
end,
the pancreas is going to be even lower
closer
down
to
and
the
more
tail.
delicate.
Make a medial incision along the length of the stomach and open it. Okay, so we're gonna remove the stomach.
That's the pancreas.
So
And that will fall apart if you
first,
touch it. And
by cutting
since I've
across the
already killed
esophagus
everything
and
else
small
I touched
intestine.
on
So
to,
the
I'm gonna
esophagus,
touch it.
I think we
So the
found that,
spleen
that's
comes
right
up and
underneath the
around.
liver.
Up and around on top of one.
Oh, below the stomach.
I'm just going really gentle. Can you make it a little bit more tense? Yeah.
Oh, you found epiglottis? Good. Yeah, that's it. That little tiny up there. Good.
Should we take a? Are we gonna have to draw it?
You have to sketch the digestive.
So not, you don't have to, you don't have to take a picture of the
That was the esophagus up there. Whatever we just removed was a connection from to the liver. So you're just cutting across the esophagus now. Okay. Good job. All right, so we've cut the esophagus, and now we need to cut the duodenum. So right there.
It feels like it's
I keep saying duodenum, but it's duodenum.
Whatever you want to make it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Once we've cut across all of it, we should be able to remove the stomach because
I didn't cut across the bottom. I didn't know if you want to make it here.
Yeah, we have to remove the stomach. So it's
Here. This is easier. I can feel it.
This is the chin. So the chin all the way down the neck. So you'd be like going from like there to there.
And you want to feel that. You want to feel the actual rings. And just under that is the esophagus.
there's a lot of connective tissue along the dorsal part of the stomach.
like.
Is that the
Aw.
stomach?
Yep.
And you have to pull off some veins or arteries in order to take
And
it
the
out.
spleen is still connected.
The spleen is still connected to the stomach. Is there anything else connected to the stomach?
Just veins and connective tissue.
Okay, so we'll just put that on inside the pig. Great.
Feels funny.
So now we're going to make a medial incision along the length of the stomach and open it.
And I look
So-
inside.
Okay, so I'm gonna use the
Might wanna
scissors
just
to
do it.
pinch it first, and then, sorry, I'm moving lots.
No, it's okay.
So should I go deeper then?
Yeah. There you go. So you're almost two. Do you feel that like bump there? That's the larynx.
Oh, okay.
So that's the top of where your trachea is.
Yeah.
So I actually find like when you get to hear the control better, you don't actually want to cut. Now, there you go. Look.
Ew.
Whoops.
So get a good look at
And I
that.
think we're supposed to wash it now so we can
There's,
see better.
oh, it looks like there's some contents in the stomach.
Can you cut this open?
Yes.
Scissors?
Okay.
Yes. We'll need to wash this table
Oh, I
afterwards.
forgot to turn the water on.
Good idea.
Got it?
Okay. The stomach has been cut. The stomach has contents, food contents. It's like greenish brown. Little
Almost looks like
dots,
bile.
perhaps.
Stomach acid.
Okay. What do we see on the inside of the stomach?
What's lumpy?
It's kind of got a texture to it, which is, I'm assuming, part of the stomach muscles.
The texture isn't very pronounced, like
No.
I expected it to be.
Like probably a human.
Yeah.
But it's also a very small pig, so
yes, and it's underdeveloped too.
yeah, I believe it's underdeveloped.
Yeah. Okay. Observe it with the hand lens.
So it's got ridges. It does. They're just not very pronounced.
Yeah.
The vein.
And a lot of mucus.
That's the esophagus
Yeah.
right there.
That's what that is. Mucus or gastric juices or I don't know.
Gastric enzymes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Separate the connective tissue and straighten the intestines. Measure the length of the small and large intestines with a ruler. Separate the connective tissue and straighten the intestines. Okay. Careful you don't cut the kidneys. They're behind the intestines.
Yeah, they're right here.
Yeah. They're big.
Very.
It kind of looks like just like.
Okay, so what do you just want these intestines out?
Yes, please.
Am I cutting here?
Just whatever you need to cut in order to remove the intestines.
Can you see if you can lift this?
Oh, yeah, I see what you mean. Well, let's start with the,
Okay, yeah.
the small intestines.
Maybe use the
We did separate, okay, so right over here, there's a connective tissue.
And then the trachea feels rigid.
It's hard to do with two hands in here. He's so small.
Yeah. Looks like the intestines are connected to the kidneys.
Yeah. So I'm gonna remove it all.
Or it's a connective tissue that holds it to the kidneys. Either way. You're gonna remove the kidneys with the intestines and then separate them once they're outside the body cavity?
Yeah.
And then larynx.
That's a good idea. So we can make a note that it's difficult to remove the intestines because the kidneys are connected to them through connective tissue, and
the pig is very small.
the pig is very small. It's difficult to get to the
Danielle,
connective
just turn
tissue.
the water on.
How would you even figure that out?
Maybe. There's another kidney.
And you don't want to cut through the intestine so that when you measure it, you have the wrong measurement. Well, that's a big pig there.
Oh, that's so much better.
Oh wait, we got it right here. That's a lie, we do not have it there.
Posterior.
We got it right there.
I think it's on top.
So this is the small intestine. This is the large intestine.
Because there's the
Stomach.
stomach, and that's the liver. How's it going back here?
We're trying to remove the intestines, but there's so much connective tissue and it's difficult to see.
There is. Wait till
So-
it gets fall apart.
Yeah.
Super fun.
I need a persistence right now.
They can like take this like little layer.
Hello. Would you like to help
Taking
us?
apart some veins and arteries.
I have no
The
idea.
liver.
Oh, the liver?
I think it's
If
that.
you just
Oh,
this
no, that's
and
the back.
it's the biggest organ.
So wait, is it? That's not.
Yeah.
That's the liver? I thought it was a
Oh, you're right.
It's really smooth. Your stomach, your liver.
Oh, this is the liver.
Oh, there's the lungs. I see them. That's so cool.
Oh, that's the diaphragm right
Yeah.
there that you're cutting through. That's the diaphragm is connected to the liver through connective tissue.
You guys are good.
So like, so it's like the liver.
Are you guys okay?
Okay, you just took out most of the internal organs.
Okay, just hold on a bit. We'll go back here.
Okay, so now we need to take out the intestines from the rest of the organs. It might be easier to see now.
I think it's like the thing that it's kind of like separated them.
That's the liver.
Yep, liver can hang out over there, and we'll separate the kidneys from the intestines next.
So these are the kidneys. They almost look like lungs, but they're not.
The kidneys were dorsal for sure. They're close to the back.
Yes.
Color, but it's really cool. So even just tissue, like your tissue actually changes from the start of your small intestine to the end of your large intestine.
There's one kidney.
Functions. So it'll look a bit different, but all behaviors are adjusted.
The kidneys are smaller than the liver.
So
Second one.
Second kidney, okay.
pull it because it's
And now we need to pull apart the intestines, and they're very tightly packed.
connecting tissue there. If you just
Oh, isn't that cool?
It's very pinkish. Yeah.
It's the liver.
I guess that's the part where the solution didn't really get to.
Okay. Sure.
Take a break for a minute.
We gotta like dig away at it.
So this was this?
That was connected to the
So this was part of.
I believe.
Was it? Because this looks like a large intestine.
it's what
Where's the other connection part? Where's the colon?
don't think of the lab as
Oh no, this was part of the colon.
That's
This
what I'm
is the
saying.
colon. Yeah, see the poop?
Yeah, there's poop in it.
Just
Ew.
So even fetal pigs have poop.
put and then no one